Yo guys, what is going on? JPS back with another video, and today I'm going to be running you guys through my itinerary for this summer's trip to Britain 2023. I know I've been hyping this up for a while guys, but finally it's here. And as you're watching this video, I'll be in Britain in a week or two. I'm not exactly sure when I'm releasing this video yet, but that should be the general timeline for that. For those of you who aren't aware, I'm actually going to be spending 2 weeks in Germany prior to my British trip, which is also going to be 2 weeks. So it's going to be a month in Europe, and I'm really excited for it. So I'm going to run you guys through all the different places I'm going to be throughout Britain on this trip. The first place I'm going to be in is Glasgow. This one comes to the front of my mind because last year when we went to Edinburgh, there were a lot of people who told us you should have gone to Glasgow, or you should have gone to both at least. So I'm going to be going to Glasgow, testing it out. Also guys, this whole trip is solo. Will isn't able to come with me. He has a job this summer. He really wanted to, but that's how it goes sometimes. I'll be seeing my friend who's going to be in Germany, but when I'm in Britain, I'll be all alone. First, I have some things planned, but for most of the trip, I'll be alone. So Glasgow is going to be the first place, and then, of course, I've been wanting to do this forever, is see the Scottish Highlands. So I plan on going up into the Scottish Highlands. I'm not telling you guys where yet because we'll keep that a surprise. The next place I'm going to be in is York. I have to go back to York. I've stayed in touch with YO1 Radio, and I'll be back in York this summer, guys. Shout out to Dave Parker, amazing guy. I can't wait to see him again and see the whole YO1 crew. We got a lot planned, so you guys are not gonna want to miss these vlogs. I'm telling you, this York trip is gonna be crazy. But yeah, I had such a great time in York last year, and I have to go back. Like, I just have to. It just feels so homey, even though I've only spent like a day in total there. Something about York just made me want to go back. So that's what we're gonna be doing. The next place I'm gonna be is London. I know I said last time that I wanted to get out of the city, but I feel like I really didn't see much of London. There's so much more to do, and I'm gonna be spending more than just a day there, you know, a couple days I think. And I want to actually get out of my shell. And you know, last time we landed in London and we only spent the night there, we were really tired. Like, we had 30 hours wide awake. So this time I can actually, you know, go out, and I won't be as lethargic waking up, and well, maybe I will depending on how the night prior goes, but it'll be fun to actually get a better glimpse of London, because you can't just gloss over a huge city like that in a day. It's impossible. The next city I'm going to be visiting is Manchester. I had a really tough decision in choosing between Manchester and Liverpool because they're kind of right next to each other, and they do have their differences, but I felt like from a traveler's perspective, it was definitely hard to pick one of the two. So I honestly picked Manchester because Oasis is from Manchester, and I've been listening to so much Oasis recently, so I was like, I don't know, it'd be cool to check this out. And Manchester has a lot of Industrial Revolution related stuff, and I'm super interested in that, so could explore some of that while I'm in that city. The next city I'm going to be going to is Newcastle, or Newcastle upon Tyne. I hope I said that right. Hold on, let's look it up.
Newcastle upon Tyne.
I said it. But yeah, Newcastle upon Tyne, I don't know, something about it really just caught my eye, and I was like, I really want to visit this place. I almost honestly did last year, but we didn't have as much time, guys. So that's the beauty about this one. I have a full 2 weeks, so I can really see some of the places that I had to skip over last year. So Newcastle upon Tyne, I'm excited to visit there. Another place I'm going to be is Birmingham. You guys are probably like, damn, this man's going everywhere. And I know I said too, I was like, oh, I'm just going to I want to spend like a couple days and really get to know a few places. And I also said I want to visit really remote locations like Cornwall or a seaside Welsh town. And I'll get into later why some of that isn't included in the itinerary, which I had initially planned for it to be. But Birmingham, enormous city. I figured, you know, I just want to be. I've never been there, so it's like I want to see what's up with that. And that's another thing is, since I'm solo traveling, I don't exactly want to be in the most remote locations. I'm someone who I get really, really like if there's not much going on, especially if I'm alone, I get not only bored but also very depressed. And it's not like it's boring to be in those towns, but I feel like they're suited better when you have company, and especially when I'm only using the trains to navigate these areas that may not have as much public transport as other parts of the country. where a car may be necessary to actually get the most out of it, I figured I'll just save it for another time. Because again, this is the second year in a row I'm going to the UK. There's no way this is the last time I'm going to be in Britain. So I can save that for another time when I'll be traveling with someone, because solo traveling, I felt like it wasn't going to be the right fit for me. So I wanted to stay in as many cities as possible, just not only to see the differences between the cities, but also because there'll be more things to keep me busy, and also because there's hostels there. I wanted to stay in more hostels too, because the social aspect, and otherwise I'm just in a hotel room by myself, walking around by myself. It's a lot more difficult to make friends if you're not in a hostel. Hostel makes it super easy to be social. So that was where some of my mindset was when it came to booking for this trip specifically. I had to really hone in on the fact that this is indeed a solo trip. So yeah, Birmingham, definitely on the list. I'm excited for that one. The next place I'll be visiting is Bristol. And Bristol is the city that Skins is set in, or at least the first season that I've been watching. We went to Bath last year. A lot of people say Bristol is better to visit than Bath, and I was like, well, we didn't really go there last time. I don't know why I didn't pick Bristol. I think it was, again, similar to the Manchester and Liverpool thing. It was just a 50-50 toss-up, so I'll end up going to all these places, but I figured Bristol this time around would be pretty fun, and it's a bit larger than Bath. So remember, guys, Bath was the place we stayed that was only £15 a night, and that night was not good. All right, guys, so the final place that I'll be visiting on this trip is going to be Oxford. I had to go to Oxford. Wanted to go to Cambridge. Some people said Oxford's a bit too spread out, but I figured it'd be a good first timer, and we can see Oxford University, and there's a lot to do in Oxford, of course, so that'll be a fun stop. So yeah, guys, that is the entire itinerary for this year's trip to the United Kingdom. After hearing that, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are, first of all, and also if you have specific activities or ideas that you would do if you were visiting these cities. Some of them I'll be in for more than a day. Most of them are probably a day or two. I'm really excited. This is going to be a super long trip. I'll be over in Europe for literally a month, and that's the longest I've never really traveled alone like that. So it's going to present a lot of challenges, but I'm ready. I feel like I'm going to grow a lot from this trip, and that's why I'm doing it, to put myself in an uncomfortable situation. Of course, I'm not like nervous going in, or I don't feel comfortable, but there are going to be moments where I'm like, wow, this is a lot. Like, can I actually do this? And that's when you persevere, and that's where a lot of growth comes, I feel like, through those learning experiences. So I'm very excited for that, and I'm excited to go back to Scotland. I wanted to go to Wales, but I just couldn't really justify it given the fact that I don't have a car. I thought about Cornwall. I thought about Swansea. Interestingly enough, in the midst of booking the trip, I actually met someone who's from Swansea, and he told me not to go to Wales. I was like, okay, I mean, if you say so, but so that, I think that influenced my decision a bit. Like, no, I don't know what the chances were that I would meet someone from Swansea. Also, guys, if you want to watch the full unedited versions of the vlogs, that's what I did last year, is posted the extended versions, which oftentimes were 45 minutes to an hour compared to the 8-minute vlogs. You can join the Patreon, first link in the description, to get access to those. I'll be telling you guys more about that later. But with that being said, guys, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.